Welcome back to the 411 Report. I bring to you from Trump News a story. Did Hillary Clinton's VP pick just call for civil war? This is about Tim Kaine. This was written by J.D. Hayes. It says the Democratic Party and its angry left-wing sycophants have become completely unhinged since they were bested by a former reality TV star and billionaire businessman. And you can see them unraveling daily without having to put very much effort into it. Consider what Tim Kaine, Hillary Clinton's vice presidential pick and sitting U.S. Senator, just suggested. That the left would rather relive the 1960s and foment war on our streets and on our campuses than do the civilized thing after losing election after election all around the country, which would be reevaluate, adopt a new message, try to reconnect with the majority of the American people. Hello. In an interview with little watched MSNBC Morning Joe co-host Micah Brzezinski asked Kaine about the future of his part and what needs to happen moving forward for it to remain a viable force in American politics, as reported by Breitbart. So, broad question about the future of the Democratic Party, especially given your firsthand experience, what we've all been through, she began. There's so much going on here that we clearly see, places where we can criticize what the administration is doing, but how does the party rebuild? Well, I don't know about any of you, but after what I've seen with the Democratic Party and what I've seen with these leftist lunatics, I'll never vote. It would take the most magnificent candidate like Trump to run on the Democratic Party before I would ever consider ever voting for a Democrat again for as long as I live. And I know I'm not the only one that feels that way. How do you prevent overreach in a situation like this? How do you prevent a continuation of the bubble in a situation like this? And how does the party reclaim its reach across the country while fighting these battles? Kaine's response is something you might have expected to hear a member of Congress utter 50 years ago, and it is very telling as to what kind of party the Democrats have become. The Anarchy Party. Well, let me talk about continuation of the bubble, Micah. This is something I'm so excited about. I saw that Howard Dean tweeted at me the other day, Tim, the base is getting ahead of the leaders. That's exactly backwards, he said. We're so excited that the American public is energized to speak out against the abuses of the administration. Say what? Is that what you think is going on here? Are you even on the same dimension that the rest of us Americans who are not leftists? I guess we'd either be center or far right. The rest of America, are you even on the same planet? This isn't people speaking out against the abuses of the administration. This is the old administration abusing the new one. And any of their supporters, for that matter. Democratic senators led healthcare rallies, Save Our Healthcare, on Martin Luther King Day in about 75 cities around the country, including Richmond. Tens of thousands of people rallied to save our healthcare. Then the Women's March that was organized as a grassroots level, it was organized by groups that were dictated by George Soros, from my understanding, and they were nothing but nasty women. They said it themselves, that they were nasty women, and that they wanted to blow up the White House. Hello? The rest of us good, patriot, Christian women, we don't act like that. So anyway, it says grassroots level. Then people coming out in protest of these orders. So the way we get outside the bubble is we take advantage of this tremendous public well, they're taking advantage, all right. Public outcry against the administration. What we've got to do is fight in Congress, fight in courts, fight in the streets, fight online, fight at the ballot box. Now there's a momentum to be able to do this. Fight in the streets? Are you kidding me? Are you serious? Are you insane? Fight in the streets? Is that really what you want, Tim Kaine? You want these leftist lunatics to face armed patriots who have a passion for America? You guys wouldn't last 3 days. Unbelievable. And we're not afraid of the popular outcry. We're energized by it, and that's going to help us do our job and do it better. What is your job? To create mayhem? I think they made a commercial. I think an insurance company made a commercial about you guys when mayhem strikes. That is an incredibly irresponsible thing for any public official to say, let alone a current U.S. senator and a man who, just a few months ago, was in the running to become Vice President of the United States. Hallelujah! Absolutely, I agree with her statement. My gosh. Can you imagine Hillary Clinton, Miss Open Borders, and Tim Kaine wanting to start a coup in the streets? My head just can't even get wrapped around that. I'm just in shock. How did these people ever climb up the ladder to be able to be in the running for president? They need to start doing psychological tests on candidates. Now flip this and imagine if President Donald Trump had told an interviewer Republicans were going to ride the wave of momentum for his victory and fight in the streets. And any opposition to his policies, he would have most definitely sounded crazy, as the angry left is attempting to make him out to be. You got that right. And they probably would have hauled him off to jail in handcuffs. Much of the momentum that Kaine is talking about is manufactured, bought, and paid for with money from Democratic Party puppet master George Soros. Absolutely. Which means there isn't really much enthusiasm for it outside reliability left-wing pockets of political ideology in cities and college campuses. That's right. When the money dries up, I guess they'll all go home and play video games, right? They'll have their what is it, Call of Duty? I think that's what my kids play. Yeah, I think something like that. Where they have toy guns and they play shoot 'em up, you know, in virtual reality where no one can get hurt. But see, patriots aren't like that. If there really were massive support for him and his twice failed presidential running mate, right, because America had enough sense not to vote for her for president 2 times. You'd think she would have got the message the first time. She'd be sitting in the Oval Office today, along, oh my gosh, with her major Clinton Foundation donors. Yeah, and what was one of the biggest donors besides George Soros? Saudi Arabia? Well, all you women might as well just be running out there as fast as you can to get a bag to put over your head. Still, every society has its anarchists, and it appears as though official Democratic Party strategy is to tap into that faction and then manufacture and support civil unrest and domestic terrorism. Well, they've been doing that. To toss out a suggestion that we should all be fighting this out in the streets of our cities is like tossing gasoline onto a fire, and Kaine should be held to account for that during these highly volatile times. That's right. He absolutely should be. Him and Madonna. He cannot be held legally liable for his comments, which are really akin to fomenting domestic insurrection, because he's protected from prosecution as a sitting U.S. Senator. He can, however, be expelled under Article 1, Section 5 of the Constitution. What are we waiting for, members of the Senate? It's time to make an example of an anarchist. You know what? I definitely agree with J.D. Hayes. I definitely agree with this reporter. Some of you patriots out there that have this story, really motivate you and rile you up, you put out a petition on this, and I'll put it on my YouTube channel, and I'm sure many others would do the same, like Alex Jones from InfoWars, and probably many others that I don't know if I can name, but we'll sign it. Heck yeah. Let's get him out of office. Until next time,